As of this very moment, there is a projectile headed towards Mars carrying the Mars 2020 rover known as Perseverance. It is traveling at 63,000 miles per hour. It is getting close to 50% of its way to Mars, about 44%. They expect it to land February 2021. It was launched in July, so about a half a year to get there. The Mars 2020 rover has the most advanced instrumentation ever sent to the red planet, and with this new technology, there's a high likelihood that our scientists will uncover life on the planet. My sister actually works for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, and she got me a behind-the-scenes look at the rover, and so I actually got to go and view the rover. It was full of plutonium, which I guess is what the energy source that the rover uses, which is like a nuclear reactor, which was incredible. We got to hear our presentation about it, and in being able to see the rover and hear the scientists talk about what the rover's going to be able to do, it got me very excited for the possibilities this rover has in its search for life. Groundbreaking research is on the horizon for mankind, and the Mars 2020 rover is going to help that. It's going to change the way we look at our solar system, and it's going to do that because they're going to the area that they're putting the rover to explore is has a very high likelihood of finding life. The cutting edge technology that we are sending is going to allow us to dig deeper and look farther. And then there's also plans to even take some of the core samples that we will be taking and send them back to Earth where they can be studied here more thoroughly. The Mars Rover 2020 Perseverance will land in the Jezero crater, which is actually a perfect place for life. It took a team 5 years to determine where they wanted to place this rover, where the ideal place would be, and considering the billions and billions of dollars they spent on this rover, making sure you're putting it in a good spot to look for what you're looking for is really important. And they chose the Jezero crater, which is basically the crater is an impact site that was filled with water at one point. They believe maybe 4 billion years ago. There was actually a river that flowed into this crater, filling it with water, creating a delta. And based off of scans that they've done of the area, they see that there is a lot of carbonites present in this area, which actually helps preserve signs of life. And this area seems to be one of the best places to look for life. And not only will it look in the delta in the river, it will eventually travel to outside and onto where the ancient shore would have been, and all high likelihoods of where they think they're going to find life. And so I'm very excited to see what they find there. And so once they actually get to the Jezero crater, they will have to then analyze what they find there. And there's going to be some of the most cutting edge technology ever put on Mars is going to be there. They're going to have an X-ray device called the Pixel, which is attached to a 7-foot arm that will be able to scan rocks and determine what's on the surface of the rock, what's inside the rock, what type of minerals are present, and this is going to help them in selecting which rocks to look at more closely for signs of life. And as well as the Pixel, they're also bringing a Mars helicopter, so it's going to be something of like a drone that they're going to be able to launch off of the rover, and it's going to be able to fly around and look for things for the rover to go look at. It's going to allow them to get a bird's eye view of the planet in a way that we've never been able to do with a rover before. And so I think with both of these two new cutting edge technologies, they're going to be able to find life or find evidence of life in this Jezero crater. And these samples, though, they have to study it with everything that they bring with them on the rover, which is very difficult. There's a lot of competition for which devices and instrumentation actually gets put onto the rover. So since they can't bring everything there, they're going to attempt to bring some of the samples back to Earth, which is a very exciting new goal that they have set for themselves. This Perseverance rover is going to take rock samples, package them up in metal tubes, and then leave them for another rover to come pick up and have some sort of device that's going to allow it to blast it back off over to Earth. And so we'll actually be able to take the Martian samples and study them ourselves with instruments we couldn't bring on the rover. And taking these samples home, this is when they think they will actually be able to prove that there's life. And so they expect that they could probably have those on their way back by 2028. So I'm very excited to see over the next 10 years all the different revelations that are going to come out of this project. And so I think one reason why I'm very excited about this, another reason why I'm very excited about this rover, because our generation the chance to explore a world that was just a world. It gives our generation a chance to explore a world that was just a tiny glowing dot in the sky for all the previous generations before us. And I think that it's just truly an amazing time to be alive, and we don't want to take that for granted. I think there's a high likelihood Perseverance will find evidence of life. NASA seems to have chose the best spot to explore on the planet, and with the new technologies like Pixel and the helicopter, being able to send our samples back, I think this might be the rover that proves that there was life on Mars at one point. And I'm very excited by the discoveries that will come, because I think as a society, the more we learn about, if we're able to conclude that there was life on Mars, it will help us reckon with old ideologies, progress our human race. Thank you.